particles 도, 은 or 는, 이 or ka. Though using particles in a sentence in Korean is difficult, it is very important to understand, as there are subtle differences depending on which particles are used. First, let's listen to the following conversation. Listen carefully.
형도 있어요?
아니요, 형은 없어요. 누나가 있어요.
Shall we take a look at their dialogue? 형도 있어요? Asks, do you also have an older brother? 아니요, 형은 없어요. 누나가 있어요. Is a response saying, no, I don't have an older brother. I have an older sister though. Listen again and repeat phrases. 형도 있어요? 아니요, 형은 없어요. 누나가 있어요. Excellent work. Let's carefully examine the pronunciations. In our previous lesson, we learned that yo in 형도 있어요 is pronounced 있어요. The final consonant double S in it of 있어요 is prolonged and connected to 어요 to be pronounced 있어요. 있어요. 어요 is pronounced 없어요. If you take a look at 없어요, you will see that there is an unfamiliar final consonant, 비읍 and 시옷. Two consonants put together are called double consonants. When you pronounce them, you pronounce the first one as it is, and the second one is prolonged to the next syllable or vowel. So, in simple terms, the first final consonant 비읍 in of 없어요 makes the op sound, and the second final consonant is prolonged to 시옷 to create a 없어요 sound due to its harsh sound. Let's repeat that again. 없어요. 없어요. Well done. Remember how you learned about the different members in your family. Let's go over them again. 형 is an older brother. 형. 형. And 누나 is an older sister. A male younger sibling would call his older siblings like this. 누나. 누나. 언니 is an older sister to a female. 언니. 언니. And 오빠 is an older brother, and a younger female sibling would call her older siblings as such. 오빠. 오빠. 여동생 is a female younger sister. 여동생. 여동생. 아들 is a son. 아들. 딸 is a daughter. 딸. Then what do we call our uncles and aunts? Uncle is a 삼촌. 삼촌. And aunt is 이모. 이모. 도 in 형도 있어요 is a particle which is similar to the English words to and also. What do you say if you want to know whether a person has an older sister? You can say 누나도 있어요. Regardless of whether a final consonant is in place, you can simply use the particle 도 with the 형 or 누나. It's not that difficult, is it? Shall we try it then? If I say 형, you guys can respond with a question. 형도 있어요? Older brother, 오빠. 오빠도 있어요? 오빠도 있어요? Do you also have an older brother? Younger brother, 남동생. 남동생도 있어요? 남동생도 있어요? Do you have a younger brother? Older sister, 누나. 누나도 있어요? 누나도 있어요? Do you have an older sister? Daughter, 딸. 딸도 있어요? 딸도 있어요? Do you have a daughter too? Well done. What would be our response to the question, 형도 있어요? If you have, then your response will be 네, 있어요. 네, 있어요. If you have two older brothers, your answer would be 네, 둘 있어요. 네, 둘 있어요. If you don't have any, your answer would be 아니요, 없어요. 아니요, 없어요. Then what if you don't have brother, but instead you have a sister? You can answer 아니요, 형은 없어요. 누나가 있어요. 은 in 형은 없어요 is a particle representing a contrast. The question asked whether you have an older brother, and you responded no, thereby forming a contrast. In 형 of 형은, there is a final consonant ng, 응, so we use 은 to represent a contrast. Then how would you answer when someone asks 누나가 있어요? Since there isn't a final consonant in 나 of 누나, we use 는 to represent a contrast. Thus, you can say 아니요, 누나는 없어요. To summarize, if there is a final consonant in the last syllable, then you use 은, and if there isn't, then you take 는 instead. 형은, 누나는. Shall we practice what we've learned? First, choose the correct answers in the following questions. 누나도 있어요? 누나도 있어요? Which means, do you also have an older sister? 아니요, 누나는 없어요. 아니요, 누나는 없어요. Which means probably or not, he or she has no older sister, but other siblings. 남동생도 있어요? Which means, do you also have a younger brother? 아니요, 남동생은 없어요. 남동생은 없어요. No, I have no younger brother. 여동생도 있어요? Which means, do you also have a younger sister? 아니요, 여동생은 없어요. 아니요, 여동생은 없어요. No, I don't have a younger sister. 오빠도 있어요? Do you also have an older brother? 아니요. 아니요. 오빠는 없어요. 아니요. 오빠는 없어요. No, I don't have an older brother. Great job! Second, fill in the blank with the appropriate response. For example, if I ask you, 형도 있어요? Then you respond, 형은 없어요. And then you add something like 누나가 있어요. Got it? 누나도 있어요? 아니요. 누나는 없어요. 형이 있어요. 아니요. 누나는 없어요. 형이 있어요. 오빠도 있어요? 아니요. 오빠는 없어요. 언니가 있어요. 아니요. 오빠는 없어요. 언니가 있어요. 딸도 있어요? 아니요. 딸은 없어요. 아들이 있어요. 아니요. 딸은 없어요. 아들이 있어요. 아들도 있어요? 아니요. 아들은 없어요. 딸이 있어요. 아들은 없어요. 딸이 있어요. Great job! Now, do you think you will be able to respond when a Korean person asks you whether you have an older brother or an older sister? Let's put your skills to the test. Try it on your own. Shall we look at another vocabulary? 할머니, 할머니, which means grandmother. 할아버지, 할아버지 is grandfather. 할아버지. 저는 여동생이 있어요. 남동생도 있어요. Which means I have younger sisters, younger brother too. This concludes our lesson for today. We have learned lots of words related to family. Please practice whenever you have time to do so. 고맙습니다.